Hey guys, come on downstairs. We're playing a little Minnesota Twins franchise here. It is season number 4, game number 1. We are opening things up at home against the Chicago Cubs. Last season, we went to the American League Championship Series before falling to the Red Sox in 5 games. And we are here. It is opening day from Target Field, the Cubs and the Twins. So a little background information if you are new to the series. This is a marathon Minnesota Twins franchise that started back in 2016 and has carried over each summer to the new versions of MLB The Show through year-to-year saves. So this one, we're starting off here in MLB The Show 18, and it will continue into MLB The Show 19 as it comes out tomorrow. However, the first 14-15 games of this season will be in MLB The Show 18 while I mess around with MLB The Show 19 and get the sliders where I want them. So, starter comparison, Jake Arrieta. He will be the opening day starter for the Cubs. He was 14-5 last season with a 2.28 ERA. And we're going to send Kyle Gibson to the mound. Look at the lineup he'll be facing: Chris Bryant, Almora, Hayward, Schwarber, Rizzo, Russell, Soler, Wieters, and Murray Newhouser, the second baseman. Last season, the Chicago Cubs 4th in baseball with 1,486 hits. Let's get the first inning underway. Chris Bryant set to lead off the season here against Kyle Gibson. First batter of the year, and Chris Bryant grounds it up the middle. Jace Peterson playing him right behind the second base bag. The Twins defense in the outfield from left to right: Rosario, Buxton, and Myers. The infield: Sano, Nunez, Peterson, Calero. Behind the plate: Francisco Cervelli. Mario Calero, the number 30 or so prospect in Major League Baseball. And he is up with the big league club for opening day for the first time. Almora draws a walk from Kyle Gibson. That'll bring up Jason Hayward. With 1 out, 3-2 count. Ground ball left side. Sano on to second. Jace Peterson makes the turn on to Calero for the out. And we go to the bottom of the first with Will Myers to lead things off for the Twins. Hit .314 last season. Time split between the Padres and the Twins. He strikes out to start the year for the Twins. Jake Arrieta on the hill here. The lineup he will face will be Will Myers, Eduardo Nunez, Eddie Rosario, Sano, Peterson, Cervelli behind the plate, Mario Calero playing first, Justin Bour, the DH, and Byron Buxton out in center field. Last season, the Twins' 3.63 runs were 26th in baseball, but the pitching staff held them in, and in a weak American League Central Division, we got into the playoffs, where we swept the Blue Jays and then fell to the Red Sox. Eduardo Nunez takes strike 3 looking, and that's 2 outs. The Cubs defense in the outfield: Jorge Soler, Albert Almora, Jason Hayward. The infield: Bryant, Russell, Newhouser, and Rizzo. And Matt Wieters behind the plate catching Arrieta today. Eddie Rosario, 282 last season. With nobody on and 2 outs, sharp ground ball to the left side. Chris Bryant on to first. And that is the end of the first inning here in year number 4. We go to the second. Kyle Schwarber, 277, 32 home runs, over the century mark in RBIs a season ago. And he's going to ground it straight up the middle. Eduardo Nunez playing right there as the Twins employ the shift. For the first out of the inning, here's Anthony Rizzo now. 2-1 count, delivery from Kyle Gibson. Rizzo, this one right back up the middle. That time it beats the shift, and it is going to roll where it is finally cut off by Byron Buxton, but it will be a double for Anthony Rizzo. Cubs with the runner in scoring position for Addison Russell. 0-2 delivery. Russell drives it to right field. That one's going to drop down for a hit, and a run is going to come in to score. And the Cubs draw first blood here in the second inning on opening day of year number 4. This one hit to the right side. Calero backpedaling makes the catch for out number 2. And Matt Wieters will step in. He's a .247 hitter a year ago. And he is going to drive one into the gap. That one's going to split the defenders, go all the way to the wall. Buxton on his horse gets there. Runner rounding third will score without a play. And it's 2-0 Cubs. This one driven to left field, base hit over the top of Nunez. And the throw to the plate not going to be in time. It is 3-0. Wieters comes in to score. And we get back to the top of the order. Chris Bryant 0 for 1 with a ground out in the first with 2 outs here. Runner going. Here comes the throw on the third base side of the bag and not in time. So runner on second, ground ball right side. Calero has it. He'll step on the bag. And that'll do it for the Cubs in the second, but not before they push across 3 runs on 4 hits. We go to the bottom of the second with Miguel Sano to lead things off for the Twins. Sano, 2-1 count from Arrieta. And he's going to slice this one into right field. Cut off there by Jason Hayward. And that will hold Sano to a single. Jace Peterson, 276, 10 home runs, 51 RBIs a year ago. The lefty facing Arrieta. He sends this one out to center field. And that one is playable. Sano will have to retreat back to first. Francisco Cervelli, new acquisition for the Twins this season, taking the place of Devin Mesoraco. He's going to ground into the 4-6-3 double play to end the second inning. Cubs lead at 3-0. After 2, we go to inning number 3. Albert Almora drew a walk in his first plate appearance. Here is the delivery from Kyle Gibson, and it is lined back up the middle off the foot of Kyle Gibson, and that's going to be an infield hit for Almora. Jason Hayward now with Almora at first, nobody out, 1-2 count. This one a shallow fly ball into short center field. Jace Peterson will make the play from his second base position. That'll bring up Kyle Schwarber. Schwarber with Almora at first, runner going. Here comes the throw, and it is not in time. Another stolen base for the Cubs. And this one is going to get away from the catcher, Cervelli. And that'll bring up Anthony Rizzo now. With runners on the corners. Left side, Sano makes the catch on the ground. And there, he short hopped it, thought he caught it in the air. He did not. And it scores another run for the Cubs. Runners on first and second now with 1 out. Here's the line drive up the middle, base hit. Another run scores, and we got runners on the corners with 1 out. That was Addison Russell with the base hit. And Paul Molitor has seen enough of Kyle Gibson. We're going to go with Chad Bettis. 27 games a year ago, was 7-0. And he will come in as a long reliever here in the third inning. Kyle Gibson only able to record 1 out. Ground ball, shortstop, on to second, on to first, double play. And Bettis comes in and gets the Twins out of the inning. The Cubs lead at 5-0 though in the middle of 3. And here we have Mario Calero. Last year in limited action in September, hit .231 with no home runs and just 1 RBI. And he is going to get a base hit in his first at bat here in his rookie season with the Twins. Could he end up as a Rookie of the Year candidate? We shall see. That would be awesome if he would, or if he does. We'll see how it goes. Justin Bour with a drive to left field. That one is back. Catch made on the run. And now we have Byron Buxton. Calero still on first with 1 out. 0-1 count to Buxton. The delivery from Arrieta. Ground ball to the right side. Calero has to stop, and he just barely gets into second. And it's a base hit for Byron Buxton. Runners on first and second. Will Myers at the plate. Ground ball. Could be 2. On to second. On to first. Not a chance. And we'll have runners at the corners for Eduardo Nunez with 2 outs. Nunez slaps this one to right field past the diving Rizzo. And the Twins are on the board. First run of the season here in the bottom of the third. It's 5-1 Cubs. Eddie Rosario at the plate now with 2 outs and 2 runners on. Here's the delivery from Arrieta. Drive to left field. but right at the left fielder. And that ends the third inning. It's 5-1 Chicago at the end of 3. We go to the fourth inning now. Matt Wieters, 1 for 1 with a double and RBI, and he came around to score a run for the Cubs. Chad Bettis still on the hill now for the Twins. He will likely get the next several innings. And he ends up walking. I believe that was Wieters. Here is Newhouser. Newhouser swings and misses for strike number 3. First out of the inning, Chris Bryant, as the lineup turns over for the Cubs. Runner on first with 1 out. Here's the delivery from Bettis. Breaking ball driven into center field. Buxton playing fairly deep. That's going to drop in front of him. And now we will have Albert Almora. Runner in scoring position with just 1 out. Ground ball could be 2. Here's the throw to second, on to first. Calero digs it out. And that will end the inning. A lot of double plays here in the first game of the season. Miguel Sano steps in now, base hit in his first at bat. 2-1 delivery in the bottom of the fourth. He's going to chop this one to second. On to first. Out made. That'll bring up Jace Peterson. Peterson fly out back in inning number 2 with 1 out. Here is the delivery from Arrieta. Peterson to the right side, on the ground. Easy play on to first. For out number 2, it'll bring up Francisco Cervelli. Cervelli on a 3-1 count. Lifts this one to right field. Jason Hayward is there. Makes the catch. And at the end of 4, the Cubs still lead it 5-1. And the inning turns over here to inning number 5. Jason Hayward will lead things off for the Cubs. Pop out and a ground out today. Here's the delivery from Bettis, a 2-1 count. Here's the drive towards the gap in right center field. Buxton on his horse will get there in plenty of time. Byron Buxton, the speed out there in center field. Kyle Gibson only lasts 2 1/3. 6 hits, 5 runs, 4 of them earned. Not a good outing for Kyle Gibson. Kyle Schwarber steps in now. With 1 out, nobody on. 28th pitch of the day for Chad Bettis. And he strikes Schwarber out for out number 2 here in the 5th. Anthony Rizzo now. 1 for 2 with the double. Scored a run. 3-0 count. This one's off the plate. Bettis wanting nothing to do with Anthony Rizzo. And he will face Addison Russell now, who's 2 for 2 on the day. And he's going to send this one to left field. Eddie Rosario is there, camped underneath it. He'll make the play. Middle of the 5th inning. Cubs, 5 runs on 7 hits. The Twins, 1 run on 4 hits and 1 error. Mario Calero will lead things off now for the Twins. Arrieta, Calero, ground ball right side. I believe that's Albert Almora, I think. No, it's Newhouser, second baseman. Murray Newhouser makes the play. On to Anthony Rizzo at first. Here is Justin Bohr now. Bohr, another ground ball to Newhouser. He's been busy out there at second. Easy play. Bohr does not run well. And that is out number 2. Byron Buxton now 1 for 1 with a single. That'd be awesome if Byron Buxton could hit for average this season and maybe provide a little bit of pop. We are waiting for Byron Buxton to fulfill his potential, as he has kind of lagged behind a little bit. End of the 5th inning. Still 5-1 Cubs. We move on to the 6th. Jorge Soler will step in. Bettis still pitching for Minnesota. Full count. Soler, ground ball right side, gloved by Calero. He'll step on the bag for out number 1. Matt Wieters now steps in. Double RBI, scored a run. And here's the delivery from Bettis. I believe Wieters walked his last at bat, and he is going to beat the shift into left field. Rosario cuts it off. Wieters is on with a single with 1 out. For the Cubbies, Murray Newhouser, 1 for 2 now. Single and an RBI. And he is going to have another base hit. Right side, Will Myers picks it up, gets it back into the infield, and that'll be it for Chad Bettis. JT Chargois, 58 games a year ago, a 2.26 ERA, 63 strikeouts, and 55 2/3 innings. And he comes on to face the third baseman of the Cubs, Chris Bryant. 1-2 delivery. Chris Bryant swings and misses at the high cheese. JT Chargois with the strikeout. And he throws hard, guys. He last year he was in the triple digits with his fastball quite regularly. Ground ball to the right side. Calero gloves it. In the middle of 6, it's still 5-1 Chicago. Will Myers will lead off the bottom of the 6th for the Twins. 1-2 count. Jake Arrieta throwing pitch number 55. Ground ball to short. Backhanded by Russell. On to Rizzo for out number 1. And Will Myers is retired once again. Eduardo Nunez now 1 for 2 at the single. With 1 out. Here's the delivery from Arrieta, and he's going to drill Noontime right in the kneecap. That one cannot feel good. Noontime will head down to first. Eddie Rosario now. Twins looking to cut into this 5-1 deficit. Rosario draws a walk. Arrieta might be in a little bit of trouble here. Miguel Sano steps in, 1 for 2 on the day. With 1 out. Couple of runners on. Here's the delivery from Arrieta. Drive deep into center field. Right back at the wall, and the catch is made. Right at the track, runner tagging from second will move up to third. And that'll leave runners on the corners for Jace Peterson with 2 outs. A 1-2 count. Here's the delivery from Arrieta. And swung on and missed. It's in the dirt, though. Weeder's up with it. And he will throw Jace Peterson out to end the inning. At the end of 6, 5 runs on 9 hits for the Cubs, 1 run on 4 hits, and 1 error for the Twins. We go to the second inning. Quick look at the game reset. 3 runs in the second for the Cubs, a pair of runs in the third. Twins lone run coming in the bottom of the third. It is 5-1 Cubs with the lead. Jason Hayward steps in. He is 0 for 3 on the day. Facing JT Chargois still, and Hayward drives it deep to right center field. That one's heading back. And that one is off the facade in right center. 415-foot home run. That is the first of the season, obviously, for Jason Hayward here on opening day. And the Cubs jump out 6-1 over the Twins. So let's talk about our offseason a little bit. Did not go as hoped. We lost a bunch of key players, and I just don't feel like we did a very good job of replacing them. Shane Ashley comes on to face Kyle Schwarber. Our bullpen got a little bit stronger, but our batting order and offense definitely took a step or 2 back. So we're going to rely on some young players like Mario Calero to hopefully step in and get the job done. We've got a few veterans on the ball club right now that made the opening day roster out of spring training. We have Scott Van Slyke and Justin Bohr. Both of them, we will see how they do. If they are not cutting it, they very likely or very possibly could be sent to waivers and designated for assignment. And we could turn it over to some young bats that are down at AAA. A guy by the name of Herbert De La Rosa is knocking at the big league door at the AAA level, second baseman. He would give us some speed on the base pass, still some bases. That is an area that we're definitely lacking in, is our running game. We basically have Byron Buxton, who can steal bases, and that's about it. Emilio Bonifacio sometimes could. Nunez maybe. Those are really the only 3 guys that can steal bases, and Buxton's the only one that really attempts it on a regular basis. So if we got Herbert De La Rosa up, he could definitely steal a few bags for us and help us in that regard. Maybe come in as a pinch runner in late game situations. So we'll see how Bohr and Van Slyke do. We opened up this opening game with 13 pitchers on the staff and 12 outfield players. So that is where we're at right now, but things could change. Definitely, like I mentioned before, this is a marathon. We play all 162 games over the course of the summer, and so it's very much a day-to-day series. Basically like you're following your favorite baseball team in real life. We're going to have call-ups, send-downs, injuries to deal with, stuff like that. So it's definitely not a fast-moving franchise. It is slower moving, but you get a good feel for the players on the club and the direction that we want to go Feel free to chime in with your input and suggestions on what way we should take this, what players you feel like fit into the Minnesota Twins' future, and what ones we should move on from. The more input I can get, the better the series is for everybody. So let's get back to the game here. Byron Buxton strikes out. Twins still trailing 6-1 in the bottom of the 8th inning. Jake Arrieta still on the hill. He is flirting with possibly a complete game here in game number 1 of the season. As Will Myers strikes out swinging. It'll bring up Eduardo Nunez. 1 for 2 on the day with a single and an RBI. Was also hit on the kneecap by a pitch. This is pitch number 99 of the day. And Eduardo Nunez takes strike 3. And Arrieta completes 8 innings on 99 pitches. And at the end of 8, the Cubs lead at 6-1 here on opening day. Opening day should be a holiday. Don't you think? Everybody in the country should get the day off. Be able to watch their favorite ball club play baseball. Most of the games are during the day. It just should be a national holiday, in my opinion. And if I was president, I would make it one. So here is Stan Good on to pitch for the Twins. He is taking over as the left-handed specialist for Fernando Abad, who we lost to, I can't remember what team he went to. Not the Yankees. Could be the Rockies. No, the Marlins. Fernando Abad is with the Marlins now. Ground ball to the right side, could be 2. Jace Peterson to second. Nunez back to Calero at first. And we will go to the bottom of the 9th with the Cubs up 6-1. One last chance for the Twins. We'll see if they have a 5-run, not a 9-run. 9-run would be nice. It would never get that far, though. We'll see if we have a 5-run inning in us. Here is Eddie Rosario down the left field line. That one's going to be fair. It's going to rattle into the corner. Rosario's on his horse heading for second. He's going to slide in there safely with a leadoff double. So a good start for the Twins. In the bottom of the 9th against J.P. Howell, here is Sano. Chopper up the middle. And it is going to get under the glove, or under the bare hand of Newhouser, and that's going to allow a run to come in to score. Miguel Sano with the RBI on the chopper. Would have been a tough play by Newhouser if he would have been able to get a hand on it and get that throwaway. Might have got Sano. Sano's not a really fast runner, but it would have been close nonetheless. Jace Peterson strikes out. Francisco Cervelli at the plate now, looking for his first hit as a Twin. With Sano at first, and there is Cervelli's first hit as a Twin right there. Francisco Cervelli right back up the middle with 1 out. 1 more base runner, and the tying run will come to the plate. Hector Rondon comes in for the Cubs, 10 saves a year ago. He will face Mario Calero, 2 for 3 with 2 singles. Here in the first game of his rookie season. And Addison Russell on to first for out number 3, and the Cubs are going to get the win here on opening day. Mike Scioscia, the manager of the Cubs here in his first season as the Cubs manager. The Cubs were the World Series champions of our first 2 seasons in 2016 and 2017, and last year they fell in the division series. So Mike Scioscia back, trying to get the Cubs back on track. That is game number 1 of year number 4. The Twins fall to the Cubs 6-2. And coming up next will be game 2 against the Cubs here on Mama's Basement Sports Gaming. It's Minnesota Twins franchise.